And my understanding, after Georgine Clark, after she found the records were supposed to have been destroyed, as she put it. But she found them in the attic of Keithley Hall, where we had to sit in. And she started looking through them, and she thought, I'm going to get in touch with these people. For 50 years, I didn't say anything to anyone. I thought that our story was just not important enough to be broadcast anywhere. It was like, I didn't talk about it. The state never said anything about it.
My children didn't know. I was a high school counselor in the city, and they did not know. The experience I had at Delta State was just too painful to talk about. And I had done what you call repressed it, but it was still there. And I'm very thankful for the young people who decided to work on the project to bring our story to the public. But when they had us at the Bologna Arts Building, and the children were gathering around and hugging us and asking us questions and telling us they didn't know what had happened, that made a difference. When I saw the reaction of the young people, that was the connection that freed me. People are trying to hide stuff. It won't free you.
I think the video actually gave honor to them, whereas I think maybe when they went through it, it may have been some shame around it, a lot of hurt around it. I know they said oftentimes they didn't even speak of it. For them to be able to release that, and for the university and the community to embrace them and to say your story is worthy, I mean, they've made history. And for them to see that in a different light now, it causes them to be able to see themselves in a different light, and to know that they were really a part of the history and the fiber and the fabric of the country. Yeah, it was. I think it's a beautiful commemoration, and it allows people and individuals who've gone through these things. It allows them to heal.
This is our writing program's 8th book, and we're working on our 9th right now. So we've been doing it since 2011. I teach at a school for at-risk kids, dropout prevention. And so I realized that they just weren't really that interested in literature. And because they were maybe homeless, or they had gotten beaten up the night before, or, their parents were struggling with addiction. And so when I started to ask them their stories, they were so eager to write them and tell. And so that's what struck me again about Lulu saying that is that it wasn't until she was asked what her story was that she got to experience the freedom of telling that story and making those connections. The first question I always ask kids is, what is your story? And then if they do want to publish, I ask like why they want to publish it. And if they say, because I always say you're writing it for yourself first, and then if they, after they've written it and they decide they want to publish, the answer kind of has to be so that others feel like they're not alone. The stories in these books has made it a permanent thing, and a thing that our community now understands. Like instead of kids being seen for being problems in the community, they're now seen as resilient individuals. And I heard the same with Maggie and Lulu today, where they all of a sudden, at this 50 years later, they get to be involved in this really important conversation, and that their voice matters. Like they have a voice to a level that they didn't have for 50 years. Story matters, and to be asked is one of the most important things.